Good morning, my sunshines. How are you? Today is Monday. Oh, calendar's still on May. June something. June 12th, maybe? 11th? Something like that. And you're getting no makeup. Having coffee in my Portland mug that Patty brought me back from WLSFA. No makeup, Jami Liz. And it's not my... I'm not going to make my regular update video today. I'll do that tomorrow because I really wanted to make this video and I wanted to do it sooner rather than later because I don't want to, because I want to let this go and get it out of my mind. So yesterday, Dr. Duc Vuong was on The Naked Truth. A lot of people have watched it. I think it's up to almost 1,000 views already, which is good. But I'll tell you something, usually after I post a video, within the 12 hours after I post a video, you know, there's 20, 30 comments on it. This video has 3 comments on it, but a lot of you have reached out to me personally, and I just want to talk about it real quick and just sort of debrief on it. So, first of all, thanks to everybody who reached out to me. Thanks to everybody for watching, and thanks to Dr. Vuong for participating. And I want to do this in the most respectful way possible. Here's the thing. I do my videos, as I've always said, for me. They're my accountability. I do the Naked Truth for you guys because I think it's important to share people's stories, to, and more recently, to start bringing in professionals in the weight loss surgery community to talk to us, particularly because not everybody can afford to go to conferences. So I did that for the first time with Dr. Matthew Weiner. I've got a link to that video below, and I encourage people who had mixed feelings about last night's video to watch the video with Dr. Weiner if they haven't already, because I think it gives you a true example of kind of what I'm looking for in terms of conversation and content. I was really excited when I heard about Dr. Vuong. I watched a lot of his videos yesterday, particularly the older videos on his channel, and was super impressed and excited with what he had to say about the mental and attitudinal perspective that can help you be successful in weight loss surgery. As I mentioned last night, I haven't heard another surgeon talk about those things, and I think it is super, super, super important. I do not think last night's interview was a good reflection of those ideas, so I encourage you to go to his YouTube channel, and I put a couple of videos down below that were the ones that I particularly liked and thought were helpful in the mental perspective of weight loss surgery. That being said, I don't know. I mean, I've really been playing around with this in my mind since last night. And I don't know if we can chalk it up to the fact that he wasn't able to hear me. I'm not chalking it up to that. Anyway, a lot of people have reached out to me, and I absolutely felt it, and it was obvious in the show. Really condescended to during that conversation. You know, gave him a great platform, and I'm glad I did. He sold a lot of sleeve academies last night, and I have asked him to give a couple of free memberships away to the people who participated on chat last night who are not able to afford to buy it. I'm not sure if he's going to do that or not, but I hope he does, because not everybody can afford that type of investment, and I think it is probably most likely a good investment. You know, I think something he did, I want to call bullshit on a couple of things he said, but I want to talk about his attitude and how I think it's really important. I personally, and it's funny, when I was thinking about this last night, it's like, I don't ever feel in a professional, because I mean, The Naked Truth is professional for me. I mean, I'm not getting paid for it, but it's my passion work. It's not, you know, the videos, my update videos are me being a hot mess, whatever, but The Naked Truth is professional. And I have never in a professional or a medical situation been so condescended to and not listened to as I felt like I was last night. And I know in talking to other people that they often, I mean, I'm a pretty assertive person. I'm a pretty, you know, in medical situations, I have worked in medical research the majority of my career. I know, you know, Nobel Prize winning researchers. I have worked with the top medical researchers in many fields through my work. I, you know, have some people in my life who are very, very high powered in medical research and medical field, deans of major medical schools. And so I know my way around some of this stuff. I know a lot about bariatric surgery, and I just have never felt the way I did last night in terms of not being heard or listened to. But I know that it is the situation that many people get into when they are, you know, with people they consider in roles of authority, such as doctors. And I just want to encourage you guys, first of all, and I mean, it's one thing when it's on a, you know, it's on a YouTube show. It's another thing when you're in a medical professional's office. If anyone had not listened to me that way, who was my doctor, I would have left and they wouldn't be my doctor anymore. And I don't think we should ever accept being talked to that way. And it was a real wake-up call to me in terms of how it feels, because I actually, I mean, there are a lot of people that I know who are, you know, who are in male-dominated fields or who are in an area where they're not, you know, often listened to or heard because they're women, which is a whole different issue. But I never felt the frustration of that until last night, and it bugged the shit out of me. So I just want to call, that. I mean, Dr. V is young and cocky, and he has some good things to say, so I certainly don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like I said, I'm going to link to the videos of his that I think are important. But I want to call bullshit on a couple of things that he said last night. Number one, I didn't like that he said what every surgeon other than me is telling you is wrong. I don't think that's true. I think that so many, in hearing people's story in the weight loss surgery community, many people's physicians give them different programs, different recommendations for diet. Pretty much what he is promoting is the same thing that Dr. Weiner promotes in A Pound of Cure. It's different than the standard mentality of you know, high protein. I mean, it's pretty low carb, but this kind of veggie first versus protein first perspective. And, you know, I will probably give it a try if I can do it within the kind of keto framework that I'm working with now, because here's two bariatric surgeons who have talked about that recently. But I never had, my experience is not that physicians have been pushing junk, non-nutritious food on patients. Yes, you drink protein shakes after you have surgery because you can't get a lot of food in. So, I mean, that bothered me, and I think it's so important for physicians to understand this mental emotional aspect. And, you know, after that interaction, it's very clear to me why, and, you know, if that's the way he came across to other physicians, why they wouldn't hear that. And I think it's a really important piece. And, you know, I hope he rewatches it and reflects on it a little bit. And that's really all I can ask for. But so anyway, I mean, it's not bullshit. He believes what he believes, but it is bullshit. It is bullshit. He is not the only physician who proposes the right diet following surgery. You know, I'm going to call bullshit on the exercise thing for sure. I mean, I thought that was really ridiculous. I think you need to strength train. We need to exercise, and to have someone say, you know, if you're only getting 600 calories in 3 years post-op and you exercise, you should just stop exercising, is really ridiculous. And I just don't think he's used to being challenged about stuff, but it's silly. I actually agree with the fact that you shouldn't do cardio, a lot of cardio initially in your first year post-op because you're not getting enough calories in. But anyway, whatever. I don't believe, and I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a person. You know, it's funny. He was saying how I couldn't truly know that people didn't feel hunger. I have many friends in the weight loss surgery community who tell me they do not feel hunger. And his comment to me was, you can't know that because they told you that. Well, also, he can't know what it's like to lose 200 pounds, or he can't know whether they feel hunger or not, if that same logic is true, but whatever. Anyway, I think exercise is super important, and I think saying that it's okay to have 600 calories 3 years post-op, and if that's not enough to sustain you exercising, you should just stop exercising, is silly. What else? What was the other? Oh, okay. Big bullshit. And because I think that this is, you know, our whole lives as overweight people, we've been hearing it's your fault. I absolutely agree with what he said about our own ownership, that we can only, you know, we're the only ones who can change anything. The only person we can change is us. But, I have many, not many, but there's a subset of friends in the friends that I have in the weight loss surgery community, and people I have heard from who do everything right and have done everything right for a very, very long period of time and still have a much more difficult time losing weight than others. I talked about that with Dr. Weiner. He talked about the set point theory. He talked about the genetics of how weight loss surgery responds differently for different people. There are actually, I heard another physician, I think at the first OH that I went to, talk about the fact that if they really wanted to do genetic testing, I don't know if it's one gene or multiple genes or whatever, I don't know, but that they could tell you how successful you were going to be with weight loss surgery with genetic testing. So I think he was really uninformed. He wanted to hear that I was talking about the genetics of obesity. Sorry guys, my alarm went off in the middle of making that video and it shut it off, so I'm gonna have to piece these two together. I'm gonna make sure it's recording. Yeah, okay, it is. So, anyway, what I was saying was, I know a subset of people who do the right things and aren't able to lose weight, and the idea that you can get as low, that your goal should be as low a weight as possible, and everybody can get to 120 pounds and everybody can do this in the same way is just ridiculous. And I have a lot of work to do today, but tomorrow I will probably do some research on PubMed about that and post these articles, because I think that's a really destructive message. I mean, I think, you know, he was basically, and he said to me, you know, I said my weight, and he said, what, it's okay with you? Are you 6'2"? I mean, that's the kind of demeaning perspective that I think overweight people have dealt with their entire lives. And I am absolutely, more than anything he said last night, when he said that that wasn't true, that there weren't people who have a different genetic predisposition to how weight loss surgery interacts them, it made me really angry for those people who I know who have experienced that and have tried so hard. And it's like, okay, yet again, another medical professional saying it's all your fault. There are biological things at work. Yes, you know, and he knew so little about me. I mean, I don't even think he took the time to watch one video to know. I mean, you guys who watch me know, on the weight loss surgery spectrum of compliance and good eating, I have, for the majority of my journey, been pretty damn on point. So it irritated me, but it irritated me more than anything is I didn't want people watching that. People like, I mean, I'm going to say, like Sarah Harrison, who talks about it, you know, I didn't want her, I mean, she often says on her videos, I feel like people think I'm lying. And that's basically what he said. And that is bullshit. And so I'm calling it. And the one other thing I want to call bullshit on is this whole idea in relationships that boys are bad and girls are bad. You know, whatever the opposite sex partner is bad. I mean, that's ridiculous. One of the things that he says in his videos are, you are what you claim it. So if you're claiming And I agree with that. But if you're putting that label on other people that you're in relationship with, it's silly. And this is me, 1 year post bridge in New Hampshire video today. That was a year ago today. And boys aren't bad. Girls aren't bad. Your romantic partners aren't bad. It's just silly. But anyway, I wanted to make this video, and I wanted to make it sooner rather than later because I just feel like it's important. I feel it was an interesting experience for me. You know, I will promise you this, I will never, that was the first time I'd had anybody on the show who was trying to sell something, you know, directly. I told Dr. Weiner when his book came out that we would talk about it, but that kind of, you know, he probably just in the 2 hours we were on the air, he probably made about $5,000. And I'm sure that number's going up, and he deserves it. He created the content. That's awesome. But that is, that's not what the naked truth is about. Yes, I would like to have a career. I would like to do this full time and be paid for it. However, there was something about that just didn't sit right to me. I mean, he created content. I'm absolutely all about the entrepreneurial spirit. I feel like it's probably a good resource, but I just felt like it was a little too much about selling and not enough about supporting and helping the weight loss surgery community, which is what I'm about. You know, I would at some point like to find a happy mix of both those things, you know, being able to do this full time, which involves money, yet also giving back to the community. So anyway, I just wanted to get this up here quickly because I think it's important, and I felt like shit, and and I've had people tell me that they had to stop watching it because it was so uncomfortable and they did not like the way that he was talking to me. I'm fine, I'm a grown-up. But it was you know, it taught me some things. It taught me that I need to follow my instincts. It showed me really an important thing for the first time in my life, what it feels like not to be listened to in a professional or medical situation, which is really fucking frustrating. But anyway, you know, like I said, I don't want to throw the baby out with bathwater. I think he has some good content on his YouTube channel. And I hope that he reflects on this a little bit because I think it would make him a better and more compassionate surgeon, particularly considering he calls himself the support surgeon. And I think a part of support is listening to other people. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. And I love you all, and I will make my regular update video tomorrow. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.